Hello, YouTube. I've told you about interesting paranormal phenomena of Asian countries such as China, of course, the Asian part of Russia, Mongolia, Vietnam, but I want to now turn attention to Indonesia. It's a very interesting country. It has tremendous what you might call paranormal phenomena. And of course, it's a country located in Southeast Asia with a large population living on various islands of the Malay archipelago. This numerous population has been using ancient megaliths for their needs for many centuries, destroying them or coming up with a new unusual application. Despite this widespread destruction, there are many traces of an ancient civilization and mysterious megaliths created by it on the islands of Indonesia. We will look at them a little later, but I wonder if there is a connection with the strange myths of undersea people or underwater humanoids, whatever you want to describe them like. And I don't have too much information, but I have the Russian sources and the American sources. So let me present to you first the Russian account. During World War II, Japanese paratroopers off the coast of Indonesia reported several dozen women splashing in coastal waters. When the High Command decided to catch them and take them prisoner, it turned out that they were not people at all, not human beings. They had scaly fused legs. Yes, the legs, but not the fishtail. 4 boats with armed Japanese soldiers were sent to get those females. The frightened inhabitants of the sea went under the water, and the puzzled Japanese soldiers returned empty-handed. However, they did not want to reckon with their defeat and set real traps by setting fishing nets. So 2 individuals were caught, apparently, in those traps the next day. Well, the Japanese tried to get them, but with the help of improvised means or sharp fins, the women managed to cut the nets in a short time and escape. Then the High Military Command gave a new order to exterminate them. 2 days later, the mysterious creatures reappeared on the surface. This time, snipers were used against them. A few accurate shots killed the poor creatures, and the others vanished from sight. Since then, the mysterious inhabitants of the water depths have been seen only 3 times, reportedly, near Indonesia in 1962. By the way, very important year when it comes to South America and its USOs and similar problems. In 1981 and 2002. In the folklore of the Indonesian people, there is an orang ikan, if I pronounce it right, but I'll go by what I can. Or to put it more simply, a mermaid. They differ from the classic mermaids in that they do not have a fishtail. The hind limbs are represented by fused legs covered with scales. In 1962, a fishing trawler caught one representative of these creatures. Reportedly, the fisherman described their catch like this. It was a girl with long black hair. Her hands near the wrists had bone growth with which she easily cut strong fishing nets and left noticeable scratches on the deck. The creature made no sounds. The face did not look like a human, more like that of a monkey, but without fur. There were webs between the fingers. To catch orang ikan reportedly is not good, so superstitious fishermen let her go. In 1981, 2 similar creatures were observed by tourists of a Japanese cruise ship that sailed past the Maluku Islands in the southeastern part of Indonesia. Several dozen people became eyewitnesses. The mermaids swam a few dozen meters from the side of the liner and then disappeared into the depths of the water. At the same time, the government of the country issued a statement regarding the existence of orang ikan. Again, reportedly, I've not seen it. Up to this point, it was believed that they were nothing more than a fiction. In 2002, vacationing surfers watched a girl with fused legs dive like a dolphin in large sea waves. At first, it seemed to them that this was an ordinary person, but when the creature disappeared into the depths of the water and no longer appeared on the surface, it became clear that this was not the case. It is difficult to say whether these creatures are intelligent or they are so-called marine primates, practically indistinguishable from animals, but the fact of observing them suggests that creatures similar to humans with fish tails really live in the sea waters, and they have many names: mermaids, orangutan, pana, mozayan, sirens, and so on. This suggests that the range of such creatures is very diverse because they are seen in many countries with access to the sea or ocean. In my recent videos, I bring information, for example, from such Russian explorers like Fyodor Konyukhov. And you can see it in my videos. It's a very interesting subject. But now let's look at the American information. And it's about the curious case of the Japanese soldiers situated in the tropical oasis of the Kei Islands during the Second World War. In 1943, a series of Japanese troops stationed in the southeastern section of the Maluku Islands of Indonesia thought that they had discovered something of a paradise, although what lurked below the surfaces of the island was something that defied centuries of myth and legend. On a moonlit night, there were reports of a wandering soldier who witnessed what he believed to be a child upon the beach. However, when the soldier drew closer and the being turned to face him, the moonlight framed the face of a beast not quite of this world. Reported to have aquatic features, the beast shared the upper body of a human, but a mouth with a shard-like teeth that resembled those of a carp, fish called carp. It grew to the height of about 150 centimeters with salmon pink skin and protrusions that riddled its head, neck, and shoulders. That peculiar creature continued to haunt the soldiers in lagoons and sand dunes, with numerous encounters that ensued. The indigenous communities of the island called the beast orangutan, which meant human fish. As the hauntings continued with no basis of if the beast was real or not, Taro Horiba, the sergeant of the Japanese surveillance team, was summoned to a village where the people were said to have recovered the corpse of orangutan from the beaches. The hut for which the beast, where it lay, was shrouded in, was full of villagers horrified by what lay within. When the skeptical sergeant dismissed their fears and entered that hut, the beast that lay before him aroused unimaginable nightmares. It fit the description from the troops, with notable details that were initially left out. Its face was ape-like and lipless, and it had hair that drooped down to its shoulders. Its fingers and feet were webbed, and the algae of many deep-sea dives bleached its skin almost green, and the stench of its corpse was beyond the very realms of what horrific was like. It was like the rotting of a million fish carcasses encased in the flesh of a beast that was laying in that hut. So those are the only two sources I have. And of course, if there are people from Indonesia who listen to this and they have things to add, I definitely welcome it, because it's a land that should not be forgotten, so to say, because it has a tremendous paranormal phenomena, including UFO sightings. And I recall that there was a very active UFO research organization in Indonesia, but I've not been in touch with them except for once years ago. Now let's look at the megaliths. Sulawesi is one of the big Sunda islands which belongs to Indonesia. The name Sulawesi is probably formed from the words Sula Island and Besi Iron. There are many amazing megaliths and stone figures on this island. It is not known who created them and for what purpose, but all the sites of Sulawesi amaze the imagination. Please look at the photos. And I want to also let you know that towards the end, you will see the photos of the strange Stonehenge from Indonesia, and please compare it to the one in Russia. My video was made about it not that long ago, and you will find a link in the description to this video. And in the future, I will tell you about a very strange and fascinating dagger revered in Indonesia, made of meteoric material and reportedly possessing paranormal characteristics. I'll tell you more about it because of my interest in meteorites of Southwest Africa and whether there is a connection. And as far as, again, as about Indonesia and the strange underwater creatures, I wonder if there are also remnants of that long ago vanished civilization that occupied our oceans and might not be really so vanished after all. But I keep asking this question in my other videos too, and I try to present information on what's going on about USOs, unidentified submersible objects in various parts of our planet. So I want to thank you for your attention to my work. If you can support my work, you can see the links in the description to this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please tell others. I'd like more people to be able to watch my videos and learn more about this fantastic planet. Thank you.